The battlefield erupts as Tony Stark unleashes his towering Sentinel Buster, a giant machine built for one purpose: crushing mutant-hunting Sentinels with sheer brute force. Huge fists smash through steel, weapons fire in every direction, and the ground shakes under its power. But these Sentinels aren't ordinary. They're based on Stark's own designs, almost immune to everything except raw strength. And then, right on cue, Feilong enters the fight. Clad in his monstrous War Machine Sentinel, his ego simply couldn't keep him away. The clash is massive, machine against machine, armor against armor. But as the battle drags on, Tony realizes he's underestimated the numbers. The Mark 73 can't last forever. Swarms of Sentinels cling to the Buster like ants, forcing Stark to slam the giant suit into the ground. With no other choice, Tony leaves it on autopilot and taunts Feilong into a one-on-one fight. His M72 Mysterium armor keeps him alive against Feilong's overwhelming firepower, but even then the struggle is brutal. The Buster tries to grab Feilong, but a devastating blow to its chest shuts it down. The mighty Sentinel Buster collapses, and half the Iron Sentinels remain active. When Tony regains consciousness, he finds himself in his M72 armor, trapped inside the tangled corpse of the fallen Buster. Cables wrap around him, the Mysterium blocks his signal, and he smashes his way through the giant's dark innards. But then, the hallucinations begin. He sees his dead adoptive mother, Maria Stark, calmly having tea with his still-living birth mother, Amanda Armstrong. Confused, Tony asks if he's already dead, but instead they point him to his father. On the way, he finds the lifeless body of Zhong Wei, one of Feilong's victims during his takeover of Stark Unlimited. The corpse accuses him, blaming Tony for surrendering the company in the first place. Then water rises around him. Phantom hands pull him under, villains whose deaths are tied to Iron Man. Drowning in guilt, he is suddenly confronted by an apparition of Magneto. The Master of Magnetism condemns him for creating weapons that slaughter mutants. Tony fires back, reminding him that Magneto's first act was to attack a human military base. The Vision snarls and buries Iron Man under mountains of metal. Suddenly, Howard Stark himself appears, digging Tony out of the rubble. But when Tony looks down, he's now wearing his original clunky gray armor, the one he built in a cave as a prisoner. He apologizes for its crude design, but Howard reminds him it was his greatest creation, built under impossible conditions. Then Howard's words turn darker. Men like them, he says, are cursed, condemned to hell for stealing knowledge from the gods. And with that, he shoves Tony into a pit, burying him in rock. With a roar, Tony breaks free from the nightmare. He's back to reality, deep inside the wrecked heart of the Model 73. The reactor has been destroyed by Feilong's suicidal dive, but Feilong survived. He slams a steel bar into Tony's unprotected head, but Stark retaliates with a blinding repulsor blast. Justice for Zhong Wei. Feilong counters with a blast of sickly green flames from his mouth, but Tony blocks it with a force field and launches himself forward. This time it's personal. He pounds Feilong's face again and again. Vengeance for his neighbor Marielle Marcus, killed when Feilong destroyed his home. Blow after blow until Feilong finally collapses, bloodied and beaten. But instead of begging for life, Feilong confesses the truth. He no longer controls the Iron Sentinels. The AIs of Orchis, Nimrod, and Omega Sentinel Karima have seized them, and their mission is darker than even he imagined. They don't just want to exterminate mutants, they want to wipe out humanity itself. Tony reaches out to Emma Frost, who is still battling Sentinels with the X-Men. She confirms the terrifying truth. Orchis has far more Sentinels than even Feilong knew about. But Emma has already sent help. And then, when all hope seems lost, the impossible happens. The battlefield shakes as the one and only Magneto, alive and unstoppable, returns.